This tutorial is for 2nd grade, Module 6, Lesson 19. In this lesson, we're going to continue to look at the properties of even and odd numbers. The directions in the first section say to skip count the columns in the array. So you can see I have an array and there are 2 circles in each column. So if I skip count, that means I start with the 2 for the first column, then I would have a total of 4 moving to the second column, and 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. I have 20 circles in all. In the next section, I'm actually going to provide the sum I would get when I'm adding doubles. Students can either use memorization for this, or they could use a rec and rec or drawings, whatever strategy they need at this point to come up with these sums. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 4 plus 4 is 8, 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12, 7 plus 7 is 14, 8 plus 8 is 16, 9 plus 9 is 18, and 10 plus 10 is 20. Now what you'll see when I show the first 2 sections together, the numbers we say when we skip count are the same numbers that we get when we add our doubles. So you can think of our doubles as the pattern used when we skip count, and that's another method of coming up with an answer for your doubles addition problems. The next section tells us to identify the bold numbers as even or odd. The first problem has been done for us. We started with the number 6, which is an even number. We added 1 to it. That gave us the number 7. 7 is an odd number. I can make 6 using 3 and 3. I cannot make 7 using 2 rows of the same number, so 7 is odd. 24 is an even number. I can make it using 12 and 12. When I add 1 to it, I get 25. 25 is an odd number. 30 is an even number. I can make it using 15 and 15. I add 1 to it and I get 31, which is an odd number. 6 is an even number. I can make it using 3 and 3. When I subtract 1 from it, I get 5. 5 is an odd number. I cannot make 5 using 2 of the same group. 24 is even because I can make it using 12 and 12. If I subtract 1, I get 23. I cannot make 23 using 2 of the same group, so 23 is odd. 30 is an even number. I can make it using 15 and 15. If I subtract 1 from 30, I get 29. 29 is an odd number. And so you can see the pattern. If we start with an even number and add 1, we get an odd number. Or if we start with an even number and subtract 1, we also get an odd number. So in our last section, it's asking if the bold numbers are even or odd, and we need to explain how we know. If I look at the number 28, I know 28 is even because I can make it using 14 and 14. And anytime you can make a number using a double, that final number is an even number. 39 is an odd number, and the reason I know this is I know that 20 plus 20 is 40, and 40 is even. If I take 40 minus 1, I get 39. And we saw in the previous section, if we take an even number and subtract 1, we end up with a sum that is odd. So those are 2 explanations on how we can figure out if the numbers are even or odd, but there's a variety of strategies that students can use to explain the properties of even and odd numbers.